My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
All right, guys, welcome to Property Profits Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce Kaminsky, filling in for Dave Dubow. And have you ever wondered how to overcome the fear of what others think and achieve success in real estate investing? Well, today, my guest, Josiah Wilson, a seasoned real estate investor and licensed broker associate. He's here to share his secrets on conquering fear, raising capital, and building a thriving real estate portfolio. Josiah, welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
And thank you for having me, Bryce.
Awesome. So, overcoming what other people think is a big thing, especially with real estate, because not everyone agrees. And usually people who aren't in real estate are the ones that are telling us that real estate isn't necessarily the greatest thing. How did you get started in this business? What got you going in real estate?
So if we want to go back to the beginning, a pop-up banner on a dial-up internet for Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
Doing a hotel, the free couple hours intro to real estate. Clicked on a pop-up banner, like, oh, that's interesting. Let me go to that. So they bring you there to the hotel. They charge you $500 for a 3-day weekend, give you some, free gifts. You go to the 3-day weekend. They teach you how to raise your credit card limits up, and then the next day is the sales pitch. So that is how I got my start in real estate. Through something called Wealth Intelligence Academy. Robert Kiyosaki was just the face of it.
Yeah. Okay. And how many years ago was that?
And that was around the 06-07 timeframe.
Yeah.
And
those seminars were really popular back then. That was like, it's kind of the only way you could get into that because it wasn't so common. It seems like it's more common these days.
There wasn't YouTube for us. There wasn't the, podcast to listen to. There wasn't any of that. The only way was either you had a local meetup group that it was the Good Old Boys Club, or you had to go to these events, which were held at the hotels. And it was every 3 months they'd be traveling through your area, and you'd go learn wholesaling, or you'd go learn fix and flip, or you go, and you had to schedule those, or you had to travel to them around the country.
Yeah, the different boot camps and things like that. So how long did it take you once you got your training and started really diving in to get into your first project?
A long time.
Hey,
So my story, I did sign up for the program. I did. They had a $12,000 and a $40,000. The $40,000 got you a week, a mentor for 1 week only. But I was a broke college student, and I could only raise my credit cards enough to afford the $12,000 for the courses.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit of traction. My first property was a $500 manufactured home in a community, and it was on Craigslist, to date all of this, right?
Yeah.
Was searching for stuff on Craigslist and saw something like for $1,000, and I offered them $500. They sold it to me because I had $500 in my bank. Then I was using the condo that I was living in at the time it was a hoarder home. So I had a truck. I filled all the black garbage bags full of the stuff, drove at night to my condo association and went up to all the dumpsters to throw it away.
Got rid of the garbage, yeah.
So that's how I saved money on my first flip. I sold it on Craigslist for like $1,500, and I was a motivated seller because I had lot rent to pay, and I didn't realize I had lot rent to pay, and that was about $400 at the time. It's like, I just spent my last $500 on this manufactured home. How am I going to afford lot rent? So I had to move it pretty quick. And then there was a big gap. I really got my start in 2016. I would revisit real estate every once in a while, just because it was still in me. However, not having what we have now, the YouTube, the podcast, the different things, really hindered, and not having a mentor really to help guide me really hindered my growth.
It's like information without action is kind of like the worst part about it, is when you're not sure if it's for you or not. And it can go years where you're like, it's still tickling my mind every once in a while whenever things get, you're like, I should get back into that real estate thing, until you finally break it open and you actually get into it. So once you kind of broke into the game, what was that like?
So, so fast forward, I was working retail. I got a real job because I did raise the credit cards. I did pay for the course. I had to now pay off my credit cards. The only way I knew to do it then was to go get a job, work, corporate ladder, get raises, so I can pay off my student debt, my car loans, all the stuff that a young person decides to get. Not
Yeah.
all young people,
Yeah.
but I decided. So I was working to pay those things off. The one thing we did do was buy a condo, and this was in Denver, Colorado area.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2015, we sold that condo. Everything that had been working for to try to pay the debt off, like, because we had a lot of money to pay off.
Yeah.
Uh, it got wiped away in that one condo transaction in 2015. We sold it. Everything for about 8 years we were working to pay off. Had probably knocked out about half of it. I think we owed around 30, 33 at the time in 2015, and that one transaction just wiped it away. It was gone. I was like, dang, this is the power of real estate, and I've been sitting on it. So 2016 comes along. I had gotten a promotion. I worked my way up to a district manager. Some things happened with that. We mutually separated ways, and I had a decision to make after I didn't have a job, didn't have a paycheck coming in. Do I go and live this real estate thing that I know is what I want, or do I go and apply for jobs? So I decided I'd give the real estate thing a try. Not just a try, that was plan A, and everything for plan B, Uber, delivery, whatever side jobs, flipping things off of Facebook, Craigslist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would use that to fuel plan A.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
I
what I
always
did.
do that too. I always say that to guys when they're maybe not winning and they're like, oh, I'm just going to go get a job. And I say, like, if you gave yourself the same 40 hours, what could you do? Probably at least as much as they're willing to pay you over time. Maybe it's not that week, but in a few weeks or a few months, it'll all pay itself back. So
Correct.
once you started going into real estate in a full-time way, what sort of changed for you that got you, some traction?
So I had the thing that got me traction. So you say 40 hours, and I was working as a district manager and a store manager for 60 to 80 hours a week.
There you go.
Like, I was like, if I was putting 60 to 80 hours a week in for these guys and I made them money and they were hiring me, if I bet
Mm-hmm.
on myself and I put that same 60 to 80 hours in a week on me, I have to win. Like, there's no
Yeah.
way I can't win. And so I did. I'd go to Starbucks in the morning, broke. I had three. So the thing that I did have is I had credit cards again, and I knew how to raise my limits.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I had good credit because I paid off all of my debt. So I had zero debt. Had my credit cards. So like, what's the resources I have? I have time. I have credit. There's four things you can trade, which is knowledge, time, credit, and money.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Those are your four commodities in business. So I had credit. I didn't have as much knowledge. I had a little bit, and I had time. So I'd go to Starbucks, spend $2.50 on a cup of coffee. You get to stay there all day, free refills. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'd drink coffee in the morning, get the coffee headache, about around 1 o'clock, go switch to some water, and then go switch to some tea, some of their teas. And I'd just stay there all day, searching Craigslist. I don't think Facebook Marketplace was there at the time.
No, not yet.
So I was searching Craigslist, and that's actually how I got my first few deals. I'm searching
Okay.
different websites, making phone calls. My first deal was actually my first wholesale deal. Came from Craigslist. I wholesaled a wholesaler's um, deal, daisy chain on that one. Then
Mm-hmm.
I did a first fix and flip off of it, and then my second one. And my second one, uh, actually, I had pulled $55,000 worth of credit cards at the time
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that was all right, that's my resources. And so on my third transaction, I told my contractor, I said, I can either pay you, um, or I can pay for materials on this flip. Like, do you have any credit? And then I used his credit card from Home Depot to actually get the materials because he needed food to eat. He was in a
You
rough
paid
spot.
him and he used
So
his
I paid him.
leverage.
Correct. And then once we sold it, we wiped out his Home Depot credit card. So I actually used his credit to get a deal done. Did very well on it. He got fed. I got fed. So doing those creative things. Yep. That's
Yeah,
how I
it's
got my start.
interesting when you put the contractor in that position that it gets done because that their credits on the line. Now they got to clear that material, so they're hustling to clear their material list off of their books, right? So,
Correct.
um, so what would you say the biggest challenge was from getting, say from 2006 right up to where things started really clicking?
Not knowing. I mean, just probably some ignorance, just not knowing, like knowing I wanted to do that, but not knowing, not having the confidence in myself. I'd say that to go out and do that. I had never been without a paycheck
Mm,
position. That's all I knew. That's what my grandparents knew. That's what my father knew. Like, get a weekly paycheck, you'll be all right.
mm-hmm.
I'd never went, you know, I look at it now, it's going from that check that's hitting every week. The hardest part was that check every week to not knowing when you're going to get paid next.
Yeah, the
Like that fear
uncertainty
of
of
the
the
unknown. That
future. Yeah.
correct.
So, what would you say your secret sauce is? What comes easy to you that other people might find difficult to do?
Uh Man, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, not necessarily a secret sauce, but the first thing as far as real estate's concerned is manufactured homes. Like, I know those inside and out, and a
Mm,
lot of people steer from manufactured homes. Just
yeah.
had a text this morning. Oh, this guy's from Michigan, and he called me yesterday. He's like, "Oh, that's a manufactured home. That's not a deal." I was like, "Man, you don't know Texas. Like,
Yeah.
manufactured homes are gold."
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. It really
yeah,
depends on the market, those if it's part of the economy, it's part of the economy. But just like we're in my market, that's not a thing at all. But if you go out west, it's a big deal. So, understanding what's happening in your market, that's huge. Now, what would you say from here forward? What does the future look like?
from here, the the future looks like, so I'm actively getting what's an RBI license. So that's retailer broker installer, and that's specifically for manufactured homes. So instead of just fixing and flipping manufactured homes, actually installing them ourselves, buying them
Mm,
direct from dealer, buying the land at a discounted price, and actually doing that development of the
wow.
manufactured homes.
Nice.
Because our price points, I mean, I'm in the Central Texas area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm closer to Austin, but I play in San Antonio,
Yeah.
Temple, surrounding Austin, not Central, and then up to Waco. So those are my main areas.
And
In
it's nice and
Austin,
affordable in there too, like San Antonio is a great market to buy and hold or even to flip.
correct. So you have some of those different. They're all similar markets in some ways, but you just have different price points. So
Yeah.
Austin traditionally isn't a cash flow market. You're not going to cash flow, but I can go to a small Texas town, or I can go to even San Antonio, and I can get some cash flow there, depending on what deal I structure and what I buy. Uh, been heavier
Mm-hmm.
on the flips right now, truly heavier on the flips, just because, hey, bring in the cash, and go fund some bigger projects. So
Mm-hmm.
it's doing the RBI, put in the manufactured homes. Our manufactured homes for a brand new one start at $300,000, 350 on an acre of land in the
Yeah.
Austin area. Uh, you go to San Antonio, depending acre of land, a brand new home, probably 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
Depending, we're actually renovating one right now. Our comps are 215 on it for a 2004 home that we're going to renovate,
Yeah.
make it look new, right? And we'll sell it. So buy it for 90, put 50 into it. It makes for a great flip.
Yeah. And they're not super super old either. They're like you're saying, a 2004. It's very cosmetic.
Yeah.
Very cosmetic. So, what would you say your biggest challenge is in really, taking that and scaling it up in a big way?
As far as scaling it, um, I don't know if it's as I'm doing more. So anybody's scaling, there's two factors. It's either a money factor or it's a people factor.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting the people factor down. We have some VAs that are actually working on us, so it's keeping track of the flips, the communication. So we've built out a system to keep everybody informed along the whole process. A small, portion using Google Drive, using Discord. Contractors are uploading photos, VAs are downloading them. I was the middle person in all of this, where it's like I'm
Mm-hmm.
downloading the receipts, I'm saving them, I'm doing a lot, and it was still a 9 to 9, 9 a.m., 9 p.m. job, or till 11 or midnight kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
just like going. So that portion's off the plate. Over the last couple of months, we've built that out with the VAs to say, these are your roles. This is what you're doing. Contractors upload the photos. I'm no longer the middleman.
Mm-hmm.
Create a Google Drive link in there. So lender, hey, if anytime you want to go see the progress of the property, click on this link.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the information I have, that the VA has, that the contractor has. We don't have any. There's just full transparency in that. So that's the people portion is good, and then just the financing, because if you're flipping and you're buying, you have uh, you have a wait time. You have to get it
Money
flipped. You have to
in,
purchase it.
money out. Yeah.
Yeah. And your money in, the money out goes a little slower than the deals that you can find. So you can, or depending on who you are,
Yeah.
I'm finding a lot of great deals. I'm finding a lot of 60 to 70% deals that we can make some great money on when we flip
Mm-hmm.
them. And so you line those up, and you have 3 or 4 you need to fund. Well, that other project's going to take 2 months to fix it, or let's say it's 30 days. We're getting pretty good getting them down to 30 to 40 days on the flips.
Nice.
However, it's going to sit on the market 60 days. So while those funds are sitting there, you need the funds for the next flip that you're going to do.
So what are you doing to either get your current network excited about the next project, or maybe getting some new people excited about investing? What sort of things are you doing on a daily basis to get new capital?
So having money conversations. That's another
Mm-hmm.
thing that, looking back, right, in the past, there was, depending on how you were raised, you didn't talk about money. Like
Mm-hmm.
money was just that hush thing. Like you felt it, you knew money was tight, or you asked for something and it was no, right?
Yeah.
So you just didn't talk about money. And as I've been on this journey, freely discussing money. Hey, what rate are you wanting? What would it be a good opportunity? What would it look like for you? What do you want out of this? So we can, if I know what you need, then I can go and help you.
Yeah. As
Right. And
opposed to figuring out what it is you want. There's that saying, you help enough people get what they want, you can get
you
likely
get
get
what
what
you
you
want.
want.
Zig Ziglar.
So what are some things that you're doing? Like, do you have like email lists going out? Do you have social media going? Like, what sort of things are you actively adding to increase your money lead flow? Because there's deal flow, then there's capital flow. So what sort of
Hmm.
things can we expect in the future as to what we can see coming out from the company there?
So email list, that's being built. Having those discussions through email. A lot of social right now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
social, Facebook. You see the handle there, at the Josiah Wilson on all
Mm-hmm.
social media. You can find me there. Having a lot of discussions with that. I'm doing a bit of coaching as well.
Nice.
So I have about six in my coaching program right now. It's small, it's a tight core, but they're all active and learning and going. Um, Partnering with them, teaching them as they go, but it's also a partnership deal where we can go ahead and, we have one
Do
under
things
contract
together.
now. So a lot, but a lot of social, just letting people know what you do. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a big thing, is in the past, once again, I'm putting that in the past, like, oh, I don't want people to know me. I want to stay small. I want to, I just want a quiet life. But then, at 1 a.m. in the morning, you're still doing all this stuff. You're like, something's got to change. Like, if I
Mm-hmm.
don't do this, it's got to change. So bring in the teams, build bigger, do these things so that way the money's just flowing and you can help more people doing it. It was a very, very selfish thing, to even want to stay small. But coaches, Zig Ziglar, Grant Cardone, those people who just think bigger. It's like, well, you can help more people.
Yeah.
right? You get to help more. So why wouldn't you want someone to invest with you? Do you want them to if you have a family member, just some of those thoughts. You have a family member. Do you really want them earning 1 to 5, right now 5%, but 1% in the bank,
Yeah.
right? Or do you want them to earn 8 to 10% with you? Like you should want them because your
Hmm.
money, the money is safer with you than it is with the bank. It
A lot of
truly is.
times. Yeah. Well, it's at the rate of growth too. So when you're looking at um, deals, are you find the deal and then get the money, or do you prefer to have the money kind of ready to go and then go looking for deals?
I'm a big believer in find the deal and the money will come.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 or 4 on my board right now that I can look at and say, all right, I don't have the money for those yet, but I had the money conversation with one of them this morning. These are 2 to 3 weeks out that we're looking to purchase them. Okay,
Hmm.
the money's going to come. Uh, One of my favorite things about Grant Cardone, he's just like he in some of his podcasts, he says, I wake up every day and who's got my money?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, getting in that mindset. Like somebody's got the money. The money's out there. Money's
Yeah.
not a
There's way
problem.
more money than there are deals. It's just a matter of, I think, like you were saying earlier, just staying attractive to the capital so that they know kind of what you're doing. So usually when people are investing like a significant amount of money, they got to like, know, and trust you. So what are some ways
Correct.
that you're able to build those relationships, like ways they like you, ways that they get to know you, and ultimately, what are some ways that people are, you're encouraging that trust?
Yeah. So Zoom calls, setting up those
Hmm.
one-on-ones or the podcast. So that's obviously a way that gets exposure.
Yeah.
Social media. I mean, you can go to my feed. I had one under contract, and this is just an example. And because I've been more vocal about what I do, there's as an agent, one of the first things that a mentor said to me, he said that a quiet agent is a skinny agent. Like if
Yeah.
you don't actually tell people what you do, then
I like that.
nobody's going to be able to help you or give you things. Um, One of and I know I'm hitting on Grant Cardone, but one of his videos, he said, if they don't know me, they can't flow me.
Hmm.
Right? If they don't know who you are, there's no reason for them to be able to do business with you. It's the
Hmm.
same thing. You're a quiet agent's a skinny agent. Like you're not going to get fed. So really bringing that out and saying, all right, well, people need to know what Josiah Wilson does in his
Hmm.
life. When I'm at a property, I'm shooting a video. I'm shooting it with my contractor. So it's not just me. It's like this is what we're doing. This is where we're at
This
in the
is the team.
process.
Yeah.
Here's the when it goes to realtor.com and it's listed. Hey, here's this one. You guys have been watching this whole process on this property. Well, here's the finished product. This is what we're listed at. Your money is safe. Like I'm actually doing this.
Hmm.
I go and to ones that we're starting to get bids, doing a quick 30-second video. Hey, this was actually funded with private money. If you're looking to earn an above average rate, backed by Texas real estate, give me a call. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah. I always say, like a pizza restaurant can have all the ingredients, but if you're not taking orders, you're just a kitchen. So until you start actually selling
Yeah.
things out the kitchen, you're just a kitchen. So, um, yeah, I mean that's pretty exciting. So if people want to connect with you, they want to find out more, what should they do? How do they find you?
So once again, the handle there at the Josiah Wilson. I have a just launched the josiahwilson.com or the josiahwilson.com. It'll get you there. It's literally a blog post web page. It's up, right?
It's up. It's
So
there. It's better than
it's
nothing. Like
it's
it's
up
it's
and it's there. There's not much. It's got a
yeah,
few affiliate links of businesses that I believe in, and it'll continue as the journey goes. Right, it's just started.
awesome, awesome. Well, I really appreciate you stopping by and letting people know, like don't give up on that real estate dream. You keep plugging away, and if you invest in yourself, you might just
You'll
you
get the
might just get a
return.
return. Yeah, you
You,
will get the
you'll,
return. I
you
think if you
will
invest in yourself, you will.
most definitely. Firm believer in that.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you stopping by, Josiah.
Hey, thank you so much, Bryce.
No problem. And until next time, guys, we'll catch you on the next episode.
Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.